Cool, right, welcome to the new channel everyone. So some of you might recognise me from other videos on YouTube, but I do actually have another account called JK Wilds that I did fishing and shooting content on, but I've decided that the fishing content sort of struggling on that channel due to the fact that most of the people there are sub for shooting and not for fishing. So when it's getting put out to all the subscribers, a high percentage aren't clicking on the video, which in turn makes YouTube stop suggesting it. So I've decided to split my content. This channel from now on is going to be just fishing, and the other channel is going to be shooting outdoor country sports sort of activities. So first session tonight out with Owen, and I'm fishing a mark that I've never actually fished before. I'm fishing Sandown Bay, probably, I don't know, 300-400 yards down back towards Sandown from Yaverland maybe. So yeah, come here tonight just to see if we can't catch a few fish. We're not expecting it to be an absolute barama and catch loads of different species, because it is the 20th of February today, so realistically we know we've not got a lot of species to target, but the last week or two we have seen a few species come out of here on Facebook and that we have been after. So there's a guy down here that had a couple of blonde rays. I've seen a painted out of here, I've seen a place out of here, flounder, so we've got some worm. We're going to come down here, pump out a rig for a fray, pump out a rig for a flatty of any description, and just see what we can do really. Hopefully we get something, but as I said, it is February and I think it's the same everywhere around the UK. The fishing is absolutely rough. So I've been a little bit lucky recently. I have had a few alright sessions for February recently, so it's quite nice, but I mean your luck's due to run out at some point, ain't it? So yeah, me, Owen, Sandown Bay, target is rays, sole, place, flounder if there's a flounder. I'm not expecting to really see any of them, but you've got a chance. So tonight I've got ragworm, squid, cuttlefish and a pack of anchovies as well. So I'll show you the baits in a sec. I'll get this other rod rigged up and then I'll talk through my traces and how I'm going to attack the night. Just to, and we'll see what we can get into really. Right, so I'll just give you a little show of the bait I've actually got. So got 5 anchovies here. Bought these from West White Angling earlier. I've been using these 3 or 4 months probably. Great bait. They're obviously frozen, but when they defrost them and you whip them up, loads of fresh red blood runs out of them. So it's the good sort of blood you want. You don't want dark brown blood running out of your bait. Fresh red, nice ruby red blood is the best scent really. I've got those. I've got a pack of sand eel. I've got, and in here you won't be able to see them too well, I've got, oh, it's defrosted a bit, cuttlefish, pack of squid, a bit of squid that I caught in November from the island, and I think that's it. And then I've got a little bit of worm over with Owen that we're just going to split between us. So on this here, it's a Bagnall bar. I'll talk to you about this in a second. I'm just going to get a nice thin streamline bait on the Bagnall bar for a ray or a conger at distance. And then I've got a little flapper here with some beads on and some sequins for a little flatty or whiting or pout. And yeah, we'll get them baited up. Right, so first bait, just going to keep it really simple. All I've got here is some of that squid that I caught in November. I've just got 4-inch piece, 1.5 cm thick. I'm not going to do anything too fancy with it really. I don't need elastic because this is really, really good squid. Proper tough. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hook it like this, probably 3/4 of the way up, then run it through the squid. This hook 2-3 times maybe. Oh, that was quite sharp. Pop it out, just put it down a little bit further because I want to get this out the bottom of the bait really. So like that, just pop that hook through. So you've got a nice hook point coming out the top here, and then your other little pennel, wrap it around a few times up through the bait, and then you've got a nice tight, well presented sort of flapper squid there. And I'll just show you how it works on the rig, because it's a little bit of a weird rig if you've never seen one before. Right, so this is it, the 20 centimetre bar. Hook length comes out from the bottom, it can move up and down. You've got a massive, well, this hook length can be as long as you want it to be. Mine's about 5 foot. So the way it works is your hook bait has got your bottom hook coming out the bottom, that clips into the imp, keep your tension on it, run it up to this other swivel here. You've got a cascade on it that it nips into, like that. So what's going to happen is this bait's going to fly out. Obviously weight first, going to hit the water, this imp's going to flick up, this hook bait is going to be released, and then it's going to be nice sort of 5-6 foot sort of flowing hook bait out there, which is exactly what you want for a nice flat sort of shallow incline beach like this. The reason I'm using it is because this beach is quite shallow. With this rig, the way that it's all connected on this bar, you can punch it out really far, and you can also fish quite a long snood as well. So most rigs like pulley pennels, if you want to have a 6 foot snood, you've got to have a big 3 foot trace, which is all a sort of, you lose momentum and the power that you put into it, because your mono or your fluoro will stretch as you cast it, and it will wave as it goes through the air. Whereas this metal bar, everything's locked in on the metal bar. There's no loss of tension or momentum when you're casting it, and it just absolutely flies when you cast it. So if you've never used one before, go on Craft Shark Handling, order yourself some Bagnall bars. But I would only suggest fishing them on sort of sandy, relatively clean beaches, because they're a few 3-4 quid each, but you don't want to be losing them. So if you're fishing rough ground, I'd steer clear of them, because it hurts you when you start getting snagged up and losing them. It really does. But yeah, I'll get this belted out and I'll show you the other rig. Right, so I'll just talk you through this rig I've got here. This is just a 2-hook flapper, but it's a bit of a jazzed up sort of tarty one, if you will. So on here I've just got 8 or 10 beads, a couple of sequins on there down to a size 2 worm hook, and I've just got some ragworm threaded onto this one. Same as the bottom, exact same, slightly bigger worm on the bottom. Not for any reason, but just picked up a bigger worm. The reason I've got such long hook length, so this hook length is best part of 2 foot, I would say, just so that, one, I can guarantee that it's on the deck, aka, well, on the bottom of the seabed. If I'm fishing for plaice and flounders, they will come up off the bed, but I just feel like if it's on the seabed, there's no way they're missing it. The beads, sequins, plaice and flounders and sole, they're all sort of visual feeders, and these do slightly glow. So in a dark sea out there, there's every chance that they will see it, come over and have an investigate. But yeah, size 2 worm hooks. The reason I fish worm hooks is because they've got barbs halfway down the hook, so that the worms can't work their way back off the hook. Just helps them stay on a bit better. And to be honest, even if I'm using squid and stuff like that, I still use worm hooks. Just when you're getting rattled by small fish, or especially when you're bream fishing or something like that, those barbs just help keep your squid on there a little bit longer. And you just got more chance of not getting stripped, more chance of getting an extra bite, which might lead to an extra hookup. But yeah, worm hooks, great little hooks. So yeah, I might just put a new worm on that, and then I'm going to cast this one out as well, and then we'll get settled in, because my stuff's everywhere all over this beach at the minute while I've been trying to get ready. So yeah, we'll get this one out. A little bit of weight on this. Is that a fish? I don't know. Let's go see what it is. Might be nothing, but it does feel like there's something on it. Alright, so I thought I saw a little bit of a knock on here earlier, but that is the culprit. That's probably been sat there for ages, because I saw a knock about half an hour ago, but it was literally a tiny knock, like the sort of knock that you would not pick your rod up to. So God knows how long that's been sat on there, but luckily he's not hooked badly, so we'll get him taken off. Give you a little look at him before he goes back. Tiny little dog, but hopefully there's not loads of these around, otherwise it could get a bit menacing. Right, so I've got this Bagnall bar baited up again. Another little strip of squid. I'm only using fin baits, sort of centimetre and a half thick, just because if there are any small rays, off chance of a turbot, a brill, small slender streamline baits, much better for getting in their mouths. If you're using really big thick and chunky baits, they will still eat them, but the hookup rate will be way less than if you were to use a small bait like this. And also with this rig, where you're looking for aerodynamics to cast long distance, if you do get a small streamline bait behind that weight as you're punching it out, it'll cast way better. Sand eels are perfect if you like using sand eels, but I'm a bit more of a squid guy. Did ya? Mine's here. You got a ray?
Oh,
What is it? Oh, mate.
For a second, it looked like a wing flap.
Yeah, you got a plain lead on, haven't you? They're going to do you all night like that. With a plain lead, you're going to keep getting done, aren't you, by slacks? I've got grips on mine. You have me excited then.
But honestly, you can pull in that in with just a plain lead, it ain't yours, man.
What one, the left one?
Left one, yeah.
Yeah, I've been having a bite on this. I've been having a bite on it. Right, I've got whatever it is this time. It's tiny though. Yeah, we're in for it. Right, looks like we're in for a night of dogfish tonight, boys and girls. And they are tiny. I mean, look at that little sucker, another one like that. Hopefully these aren't around all night long. Or if they are, I don't mind, but hopefully there's something a bit better in between them. But we're catching fish at the end of the day, aren't we? So I'm pretty happy with that. Owen had me excited for a second because he said he had a good slackline bite. But he's using plain leads and a decent sized dogfish bumped him out and he thought he had something a bit better. The problem is as well, out in front of us here, we're reeling up a bank. So as you get sort of 3/4 of the way in, there's a drop off and you're reeling up it. So even when you've got a small fish on, that resistance of bringing it up over it makes you think you've got something half decent on. When in reality, you've got a dog. But yeah, great stuff for catching fish. This tide's starting to pump up now. Time is 7:20. This water's getting closer and closer now by the minute. We're sort of on a raised little bit here, so it's filling in around the sides of us. But I reckon within 10 minutes we're going to be moving back up that beach, which I'm not against, which means we're going to be dropping our baits just the other side of that drop off that we've been reeling up over, which could be quite good when that tide fills in a little bit more. Hopefully those fish come in, feed around that contour that we're fishing over. And hopefully there's something other than a dogfish. I'm happy to catch pout and whiting. I've not even caught a whiting from the shore this year and I've fished all year long, at least once a week. So I don't know how I've managed to dodge them, but they're just not here in their numbers like they once were. I've had them on the boat, but yeah, I watch videos of Friday Night Fishing Club lads and they have quite a few down there. Well, they did do in one session a little while ago. But I just can't believe that we're not catching whiting, worm baits, out the back of the island. It should be whiting everywhere, but just not here this year, unfortunately. And when there's not a lot of prey food like the whiting and the pout is what the predators sort of rely on in the winter. So if they're not about, then what have the predators got to eat? This tide's starting to come up now. It's right to the rod stand now. I have to think about moving the essentials back in a minute, I think. It feels like there's a little bit of weight on here, but what on earth is that? Huh, what have I got here? Wow. A little bass and a little pout. Well, there we are. Just been having a couple of little knocks in it. I wasn't really too sure what it was, but thought I'd pick it up because it's been going for a little while. Whatever it was has probably hooked itself, and got a lovely little bass and a lovely little pout, which is very nice considering I thought we were just going to catch dogs all night. But obviously far too small to do anything with. This pout's undersized and that bass is way undersized, but nice to see a couple of fish that aren't a dogfish or a pout.
No, honey.
Little tiny pout. What? Little tiny pout. A little bass. And a lovely little, tiny little bass. We'll take that all day though. Happy with that. But this tide's seriously starting to come up now, so just gonna move these rods back 15, 20 yards or something like that. And hopefully that should be all right for the next half an hour. But now this flood started coming in properly. It's got over that little lip in front of us here. It's gonna start coming in quick, I'd have thought, so. We're gonna be moving fairly frequently, but very nice to see a little pout and a little bass. I was pretty sure we were just gonna get dogged out all night, but very nice to see a little bit of variety. Nice to see there's a bit of life out there other than dogfish. But yeah, on the worm again. So just get this sorted out. I'll move the rods back and then I'll bring you back. I'll just move the rods back, so I'm just going to bait this rig back up that I just had that pout and a little bass on. Hopefully we can get into a few more little species. Maybe a bigger pout as well, so I can whip a fillet off of it and then knock it out for an undulate or a ray, because winter time fishing, fresh pout, there's not much that beats it. So we'll get this baited up with some worm and then see what we can get up to. Just been stood over with Owen and I just see my rod on the left been having a few little knocks and rattles, so not sure if another one of them schoolies or pouts found it, but just going to leave that a little bit longer. I'm just going to reel my rod in on the right because I've not had that in for a little while, and just make sure there's not a dogfish sat on it and that I've actually got a bait fishing. And after that we'll pick the other one up and see if there's anything on that. But we'll have a little investigate of this one here first. Make sure my drag's done. Right, there's some weight on it, so I'm assuming we have been done by a dogfish. Leave that there for a sec. Huh. I was having a good bite on here then, yeah, it's still going. There's something on it. Not sure what it is, but doesn't feel massive. Bosh. I'll tell you what, for a fish that small, it gave quite a considerable bite. That's probably a 4 or 5 ounce pout, and that gave a pretty good bite, I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, a bit too small to keep, so he's going back. And I've got a dogfish down there as well, so I'll put this in the bucket quick and then I'll sort the dogfish out. And there's the other rod that I had the bite on. Lovely little dog. Bit bigger than the other ones, to be fair, but that's not hard, is it, when they're all about flipping 1/4 pound. Yeah, another little dog. Right, so on here I've got stripper squid and one of them anchovies that I had before, so this is going to go out on the Bagnall bar. That last dogfish I had swallowed the hooks back a bit too far, so just had to tie a new one on. I've got a new elastic, so I need to start it off. There we go. So I've got it on a bait needle. I used to be anti-bait needle, I used to not want to use them, but when you realise just how much easier they make the job of baiting up 2 baits together, you try and hold these 2 baits side by side and whip them on. You'll be all over the place and it'll be doing your head in. So it's much easier to just get this baiting tool and whip it up like that. So I whipped it up, got a little sausage of it on there, slide it off the needle, held together nicely. You can bait it up easy that way. Right, so there's that bar that I just baited up. As you can see, that anchovy's really nice and sort of tucked up behind that weight. Anchovy, just a little stripper squid just to bulk it out, just to make the bait a little bit harder, because when these anchovies defrost in the water, they do soften up quite a lot. So I found when you use them just on their own, they do get a bit mushy, and they're pretty easy to smash up by any fish. So yeah, puck a little bait out on the bar, The last cast I had with this, just before this one here, it went miles. So we'll see if we can get that again. Try and get as far out into this bay as we can, just on the off chance that there's a bigger fish, a ray or a conger, just at a bit more distance than what we have been fishing. So we'll pump this one out and hopefully we can get something decent. Oh, that's a bit of a better knock. Knock on the worm again. Oh, that is a bit of a better knock there. Just reel down so we can feel anything. Something on there. Oh, we've got some in. Actually feels like there's a bit of weight on there. There we have it. I've caught a lot of these recently. Another little doggy. Medium sized one. We haven't even really had a big one yet tonight really. They've been squeakers and sort of 3/4 of a pounders, so. But honestly that gave a bit of a better bite and it felt like there was a bit of weight to it. It felt like there might have been two on there, but just the one. But yeah, still catching fish. Plenty of fish now. To be honest, I'll probably stop showing you dogfish. Because once you've seen 3 or 4, you've seen the lot, haven't you? So, yeah, just hold out for something a bit better, hopefully. If not, I'm more than happy catching fish like this all night. It's so nice to just keep moving, keep on your baits. Nothing worse than being sat down for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours and not having a bite. It's a horrible feeling, especially in February when it's cold. In the summer it's not too bad because at least you're sitting there and you're comfy, but in February it's so disheartening when you're sitting there. You're drowning good bait and you're getting nothing in return. So I'm happy we're getting action. We've had quite a few fish. I've had 6 or 8 fish. Owen's had probably the same. Very enjoyable, to be honest. New mark and I'm on fish, so can't really moan too much of that. Oh, that is a bit of a better bite there. That's stacking me off, that has. Still there as well. This feels a bit different. Just keep the pressure on it. That gave me a few little head shakes then. This is either the world's biggest dogfish or something different. Well, I said it felt different and that's because it was. But it wasn't a good different, unfortunately. It's a bloody conger. But that's why I did say slacken me off and it gave me a few head shakes, so I didn't think that it was a dog. But what have you done here? What on earth have you done here? God's sake. Right, let me sort this bloody thing out. Right, so I just had that conger, but as I was about to unhook him, the tide came up and just, well, almost took my bucket away. Washed out a load of the stuff, so I just had to rush all my stuff back up the beach quick because I didn't want to get messed up in all of that and start chasing some of my gear down the beach. So that conger I just unhooked and threw back in the water quick. But I could tell that it was something different straight away just because it slacklined me, and then once it slacklined me, gave me a few head shakes and a few nods in it. It just felt a bit different, so I figured out pretty quickly that that wasn't another dogfish. It's absolutely destroyed my rig though, like they always bloody do. I haven't got any clue how to get it back to how it was. There you go. Bite on the sand eels. Oh, that's on the worm. This is on the worm I just cast out. It's not been in the water very long. Not a bad little bite. Probably a dog, I assume, but is it on there? Felt like it, but it doesn't feel too heavy now. Is it? Oh no, it's still there. What is it? Little pout. Tiny pout. There we go. Tiny little pout. An absolute little baby. Quite a few small ones tonight. We haven't had any that are bigger at all. Normally you get a few small ones and you get one that's sort of an half a pounder or something, but nothing tonight. But another little fish. Nice for it to not be a dog as well. Get this guy back so he can get away quick. Right, so just put the last cast out now. Give these sort of 15 minutes and then we're going to go home. We've been here since 5:30 and it's now 11:30, so pretty good session really. And to be honest, from the first cast it has been non-stop fish all night long. This might even be the most fish I've ever caught in a beach session, in one session. I must have had almost 20 dogfish. I've probably only shown you half a dozen, I'd have thought. I think I've had 3 straps, 1 small schoolie, probably 6-7 pout. So I mean, I'm probably pushing 30 fish in one session, which is ridiculous really considering it's February. What's the date today? The date is the 19th of February, so last February of 2025, I struggled a lot. Didn't really catch hardly any fish. I think I went once a week, so I went 4 times and I think I blanked 3 of them. And this February I've done really well numbers wise, and I caught bass as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, overall been a great night. Owen's caught loads of fish, I've caught loads of fish. I actually run out of worm, which doesn't normally happen. Normally you end up throwing it away, don't you, at the end of the night, or trying to keep it alive for the next session. But yeah, it's been amazing really. My arms actually hurt from reeling in fish, which hasn't happened for a while. But yeah, first video on the new channel. Hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have and you want to support me, drop a sub. I know it's not been the most action-packed and it's probably not been the best film and sort of shot on the camera because I've had to keep moving back up the beach and it's been a bit fiddly, but if you just bear with me over the next few months as the weather gets better and the fishing turns on, the videos will get a lot better. If you want to watch some of my videos from last year just to have a little idea of what they'll be like, I'll put a link to my other channel which has got all of my 2025 fishing videos on, and you can go back and have a watch of some of them if you want to have a handers. But yeah, hope you stick around. If you're new around here, drop us a sub, and if you like the video, drop us a like. And yeah, thank you very much, appreciate the view, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.